Theo, thanks for joining us. I guess since we last spoke, what were your reflections on the defeat on the Central Coast?
Obviously, I think it was a disappointing result from a scoreline perspective. However, we kind of always refer back to our identity and our team model and what does that look like, and are we able to see elements of the game that represent that? So when we kind of reflected on the game and had opportunity to watch it back again, we start seeing some of those moments that we want to continue to stretch out and lengthen. So although from a scoreline perspective, it wasn't a great result, there were definitely a lot of positive signs within that of some strong moments that we want to continue to stretch and continue to see in our games moving forward. So
vibes were good this week on the track. The squad's still very much close together. Dylan mentioned that it's a long process, but the squad's in a good shape.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got a model, we've got processes that we've put in place. We have player profiles, we have a very strong foundation. So in those moments, it gives us an opportunity to go back to those things to make sure that we kind of stay on track. So the squad's been fantastic. The players are exceptional, and they're very professional. So once again, it's all objective because we have our model, we have our processes. So we always compare back to that to make sure that feedback is accurate and we stay on track.
No rest for the wicked. We've got Sydney FC at home on Saturday. Before we get to ins and outs this week, talk to us about Sydney FC and what you're expecting from them.
Yeah, I think they've got a number of strong individuals. They're obviously a team that's done well historically over the years. I think they gave Melbourne City a really tough time. They're aggressive off the ball, and they rely on some individuals to create things, probably in transition moments. Well, that's so against Melbourne City. So once again, it'll be a really tough game, but it's an opportunity for us to bounce back and try and put some things into training, into place during game day.
And you're looking forward to your first home game as head coach?
Absolutely. I think it's an opportunity for everyone to get behind the girls. There's some fantastic girls there, and the support of the Adelaide people is always required. So once again, it gives us that little bit of edge over the opposition. So I'm looking forward to having everyone behind the team and making some noise.
And in terms of squad update, you've made 2 changes. Talk to us about those 2 that are coming in.
Players coming into the squad, Fiona and Chelsea. Over the years, they've scored a number of goals. They're important players, so looking forward to having them have an impact on the game.
The 2 that have come in, what's their, because they've recently been fighting off injuries, so they're fit, ready to go, they're fresh.
Yeah, they're looking forward to it. I think it's very hard to hold them both back because they're such aggressive and eager players. So I think both Chelsea and Fiona are really looking forward to get an opportunity to go on the pitch and do what they do best, which is put the ball in the back of the net. So and something that we do miss as well.
And just finally, a message to our Reds faithful, your first home game in charge. We are at Jeps Cross, just a message to the fans and how excited are you to play?
Yeah, I think it's, from a personal perspective, as I said from the very start, it's an absolute privilege and an honour. And I know the players, every time they put their shirt on, they realise they're not just playing for themselves, they're also representing the state. So I think it's super important, get as many people down there as possible, get behind the team, make some noise. It makes a significant difference to the girls. They're very highly appreciative of it. So looking forward to a fantastic game with some amazing support from the LA crowd.